Hey guys, my name is Ben Newberger, and welcome back to the Basement Breakdown. All right, so for this week, where you get another fight night, yay. A UFC fight night, Josh Emmett versus Lerone Murphy. So I was poo-pooing last night on, or not last night, on the last fight card, the last fight night fight card, because of the no-names and just the lack of sort of, attention and stuff. But that card ended up being very fun, where there was a lot of knockouts and like a string of KOs and finishes and stuff. So that was fun. Hopefully this can replicate that in some way, shape, or form. We start off the card with Vanessa Demopoulos versus Talita Alencar. Vanessa's 36, Talita's 34. So Little Monster, aka Vanessa, is coming off of a loss to Jacqueline Amarim. She beats Emily Ducote back in 2024 before her loss. And she's kind of been going like lose one, win one, lose one, win one. She's fought some good opponents like Karolina Kowalkiewicz, who's not bad. Kaneko Murata, who's okay, I guess. Yeah, she's won a fair bit in the UFC, which is good. And then we have Talita. It's the problem child, just like Jake Paul, I guess. Yeah, she loses her fight to Stephanie Luciano back in August, the Tybura versus Spivak card. Yeah, we're going to go with Vanessa to win a decision over Talita. Start off the card hot. Victor Henry versus Pedro Falcao. Victor Henry is 37 years old. He's got great hair, from what I can remember. Yep. So he lost to Charles Jourdain his last time out, back in 2024. He lost a submission in the second round to him. And then he beat Ronnie Yaha. And then before that, he went to a draw with Javid Basharat and then beat Tony Gravely. Victor Henry's been in the UFC for a little bit of time. And then we move on to Pedro. Pedro's coming off of a decision loss to Victor Hugo, which was a good fight that he lost a unanimous decision to, I believe, but he did well in his fight. I'm going to go with Victor Henry to win. I'm going to go with Victor Henry to get a submission in the second round. He probably will be a bit of a underdog just because of the age and I guess or something, but I think his experience and his overall activity, actually he's not too active. I just feel like he is going to be better than Pedro, who I did not like from seeing his debut against Victor Hugo. So yeah, we're going to go with Victor Henry to win this fight by submission. Next we go Rhys McKee versus Daniel Franza. Rhys McKee, yeah, I like Skeletor. He's a good fighter. He lost to Chidi Ujikani last time out, so he is coming off of a loss, unfortunately. And then we have Daniel Franza, who I think fought in the LFA for a bit, and this is his first fight in the UFC against Rhys McKee. Daniel is 9-2. He's from Romania. He looks pretty good. I think I don't know though. I think there could be some good money on Rhys McKee to win this fight. Yeah, I haven't seen him fight too much in LFA, but what I've seen from Rhys McKee hasn't been too great as of late. Yeah, let's go with Daniel Franza to win via knockout in the first round. Make his debut. Then we have another chick fight, Diana Belbita. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Dion Barbosa will be her opponent. I think Diana's going to win. I think she's a more skilled fighter. I think that she's had more experience in the UFC. She did, though, the problem is with her, she did lose to Molly McCann, which you kind of have to take into perspective. That's not a good... She went to a decision with Miranda Maverick, I guess. You know what? No, I'm going to go with Dion Barbosa to win this fight. I'm going to go with her to win a decision. Next, we have Davey Grant versus Daniel Santos. There's about a 10-year age difference between the two. Daniel Santos is a little bit younger. He hasn't fought in a while. He was supposed to fight Said Nurmagomedov, didn't fight. He fought all the way back in 2023. So he fought Johnny Munoz back in 2023, and then before that, it was another year, and he fought John Castanda, where he won as well. I mean, he has some wins, but lots of inactivity. While Davy Grant has been decently active. He beat Ramon Tavares his last time out, and then he lost to Daniel Marcos, which was a really close fight that you can honestly argue. We're going with a Davy Grant finish in the third round. I don't like Daniel Santos' inactivity. I want to go with a Davy Grant finish in the third round. Next, we go to Ode Osborne versus Luis Gruel. Ode Osborne's coming off of some losses. The Jamaican sensation lost to Ronaldo Rodriguez and Rafael Filho. And he hasn't won a fight in a while since he beat Charles Johnson back in 2023. So it's been a while for him. They're putting him up against another undefeated guy who I don't know too much about, Luis Gruel. Yeah, I'm sorry. I just really don't like Ode Osborne. I think he's a very bad decision maker in the octagon. I think he does stupid things. And because of his fight IQ, it's very hard to pick him. So I'm going to go against him with the undefeated guy, Luis. Prove me wrong, Ode. I think they'll probably kick him out of the UFC if he doesn't win this one, looking at his record, but we'll see. We move to the main card. Not a bad card, actually, overall, as I go over it. Torres Finney versus Robert Valentin. Torres Finney finally gets to fight in the UFC. He's been trying to get here for a while. I believe he's the dude. I think he fights like a couple times in on the Contender Series or something, and Dana White, like, he wins. I don't think he actually loses any fights. He just, like, doesn't impress Dana White enough, and then he's like, you have to go back and win more. So which is what he did, and then came back and won, and now he's in the UFC. I believe he's a big guy. Robert Valentin is... He lost his last fight to Ryan Loder. I like Torres Finney. I'm not sure it'll be a very fun fight for his first fight, but it is the UFC. So I think he's going to get his first win by a decision. I think he's going to control Robert Valentin a lot, maybe outstrike him. But I think there's going to be a lot of control, and it's going to be a little bit of a slower pace, more tactical approach from Torres. I think that's how he's probably going to win the fight. Moving forward, we have Brad Tavares versus Gerard Michart. Gerard Michart, he won, I believe, comeback of the year when he beat Edmund Shabazian with his submission. He was getting fucked up. Then he won that fight. He fought René de Ridder his last time out, where, to be fair, honestly, Gerard Michart did very well on the feet. They had a very good fight until René de Ridder submitted him in the third round. So yeah, GM3 can still fight some guys. Brad Tavares is pretty old. He's coming off of a decision loss to Park Jun-young, which was a, not so fun fight at the end of the day, but he did lose that. And then before that, he lost to Gregory Rodriguez, and I think before that he beat Chris Weidman. So not much in terms of, I guess, quality for these opponents, but Brad Tavares has the advantage on the feet, and then Gerard Michart has the advantage on the ground. It's just a matter if Gerard can actually get him to the ground. Gerald Michart, I keep saying Gerard. Gerald Michart, GM3. So I like the way that his striking looked in his last fight. So, you know what, guys? We're going to go GM3 for this fight to win a submission and, keep his career going. They're both really old guys. But yeah, I really want to see a Gerard Michart submission, so we're going to go with that. Moving forward, we have Kennedy Njokuanu. Oh my god, I have such a hard time pronouncing his name, guys. Njokuanu, whatever. He's really nasty. He's fighting Martin Budet, who's coming off of a win versus Andrei Arlovsky, which was a decision win. And then he got KO'd by Shamil Gaziev. I like Kennedy a lot. His record is a little worse than this guy, but I really like, you know what? He's coming off of some wins. Lucas Berzersky, Chris Barnett. Yeah, I really like Kennedy. This guy's got a good record or whatever, but I think Kennedy will win this fight. I think he's going to knock him out in the first round. I think they're just gonna go wild in the first round, and then Kennedy's gonna land something and then takes him out of there. We're getting towards the end of the card. Cortavius Romeus versus Lee Chang-ho. Guys with both good records. Lee Chang-ho's last fight was against Long Zhao, who whom he went to a decision with. Good fight overall, close decision, but Lee ended up winning. And our next opponent, who we have, Cortavius, they're around the same age. He actually is coming off of a loss to Gaston Bolanos. This is what kind of worries me about this fight. Yeah, I think Lee Chang-ho is going to win the fight. I think he's going to win a decision. Yeah, I think he's going to win a decision versus Cortavius. I can see some knockout power and some potential for Cortavius, but I think the safe bet is to go with Lee winning a decision. Not weird main event, or co-main event, but it's actually not bad. Pat Sabatini versus Joe Anderson Brito. Pat Sabatini's got about 4 years of age on the opponent. He's coming off of a win versus Jonathan Pierce via submission in the first round. Good on him. And then we have Joe Anderson, who's coming off of a decision loss to William Gomez, a good fight to say the least. And then he beat Jack Shore before that, so that's also that's a good win. And he fought in a close fight with William. So yeah, this is going to be a good fight, and I'm going to lead more towards... Yeah, I'm going to lead towards more Joe Anderson Brito to get this done. I really like Pat, but I think that Joe Anderson is probably going to win a decision over him. I think there'll be a lot of decisions this fight. I hope I'm wrong about that, and maybe, we'll see some KOs and stuff, but I foresee a lot of decisions in this card. But there is some potential for knockouts. Like this one, perhaps. Josh Emmett, Lerone Murphy. So Lerone Murphy's coming off of a closely contested bout with Dan Ige, where it was a bit of a coin toss. He loses the first round, and I believe he rallies back and wins the second and third. Close fight, but yeah, he was pushing the pace. He remains undefeated. Now you go up against Josh Emmett. Josh Emmett took a while off after flatlining Bryce Mitchell, and then before that, beating Calvin Kattar, I believe. No, before that, no. After he beats Calvin Kattar, he loses to Ilya, then Bryce Mitchell. Now he's back. So he took a while to refine his skills, maybe make another run at like a title shot or something. So yeah, he seems happy. This is a tough matchup for Lerone Murphy. I'm gonna go with Lerone Murphy, but I can see Josh Emmett. Like, he's a very good mixed martial artist. Josh Emmett, like, he's very smart. He's got a ton of fights. He's a very smart fighter. He's all around. He's good striking, good takedown defense, good wrestling, good transitions. Like, I really do like Josh Emmett a lot. It's just Lerone Murphy. He's very dynamic. He's very tall. If he can keep the distance, land strikes, like, he's a very good point fighter. I think that he'll probably edge a lot of the rounds that they end up going if it goes to a decision. And I can see Lerone Murphy winning a unanimous decision over Josh Emmett. There's potential for Josh Emmett to finish Lerone Murphy, but I personally foresee it being a Lerone Murphy decision. So that's going to be the end of the card. I'd like to point out, I'm really excited for this summer's season of The Ultimate Fighter. We have Daniel Cormier and Chael Sonnen. They run a podcast together. They're going to be the coaches going up against each other, which is really fun to see. Those guys are part of some of my favorite seasons of The Ultimate Fighter, being when DC was on The Ultimate Fighter with Stipe Miocic, and you had some good fighters come out of that. There was some good banter between the two of them. It was a fun season. And then Chael Sonnen, who's been on some of the most exciting seasons of TUF, being the one against John Jones, and then who could forget the one against Vanderlei Silva, where what a now, and he's like, I can't let you get close, and then he pushes him. Yeah, I'm really excited for that. I think that should be a very good. That should be very fun to look forward to. So I'm definitely excited for this season of The Ultimate Fighter. I hope you guys are just as excited as I am. Let me know if you guys are going to be, Team Chael or Team DC. What do you guys think? Are you the bad guy, or are you the big guy? I'm getting pretty big myself, though, so I can't really talk too much shit about DC. Anyways, guys, that'll be the end of the video. Another fight night broken down. Hopefully we do great on these picks. It's a pleasure. Really enjoying doing this. Thank you for liking, thank you for subscribing, or just watching. Thank you for comments, thank you for feedback, constructive criticism. I appreciate it all. Thank you very much, and goodbye. Basement Breakdown out.